Yes, the reason why I'm going to be ending my clips and starting them is because I was not able to find an adequate video splicer. So instead of just cutting my videos into parts, I'm just going to take separate clips and upload them separately. Now, to continue on our Hebrew lesson, we're going to continue with learning the Hebrew alphabet. The first letter is Aleph. Let me look at the time. 42. Okay, the first letter is Aleph. What it is a vowel indicator in modern Hebrew, depending on which nikudot, which are little dots below, in the middle, or to the side, or maybe even above the any of the letters in modern Hebrew, that dictates what the pronunciation will be. But in ancient Hebrew, I believe it was different because there was no nikudot system into the Mizrahites or Mizrahites. If you look at one video, the video of Wise Rebuke, I explain the Mizrahites a little bit, and you can go and research them yourself to learn how they inserted many pronunciations. So I believe that Aleph may have had a different pronunciation, and we'll go over that in a later video. Okay, the next letter is Beit. Beit is a B sound. In modern Hebrew, it can be B or V, depending on if it has a nikudot in the center or not. We'll go over that in a later video. The next letter is Gamil, which is a G sound. G, G, G. Letter after that is Dalet. Dalet is a D sound. D, D, D. The letter after that is Hey. Hey is an H sound. H, H, H. Like H. The next letter is, in modern Hebrew, Vav. V-A-V. Vav. But in ancient Hebrew was Waw. This was one of the letters that the Mizrahites changed. It can also be an O sound, an U sound, or a W sound. See, I have the V right here to explain that in modern Hebrew it was is a V, but in ancient Hebrew it's an O sound, an U sound, or a W sound. This next letter, this is also the third letter in the Most High's name. This is the second. Hey is the second, and Wow is the third. And Hey is also the last, the fourth letter. This next letter is Zion. Zion is a Z sound. Z, Z, Z. This letter here is Chet. In modern Hebrew, Chet is pronounced Ch, Ch, Ch. It's sort of like you're clearing your throat. But in ancient Hebrew, I believe, as well as many other scholars, that it was pronounced more like the Arabic Chet. It's more like a hard H, but it's softer than the Ch sound. Chet. Wait, excuse me. Chet, Chet, Chet. Like that. Chet. Okay. Tet. We'll discuss this letter further in other videos. In modern Hebrew, it's a T sound, and it's used to differentiate between translated words into Hebrew and words that are what you would call native to Hebrew. So if you saw a translated word, some word transliterated into Hebrew, they usually use this letter. But there are some Hebrew words that are native to Hebrew that have this letter, but they're not common. This next letter is Yod, or Yud. It's the first letter of the Most High's name, and the 10th letter in the Hebrew alphabet. I'll teach you that each letter has a numeric value as well. It's pronounced Ya, Ya, Ya. It's a Y sound. And it can also, depending on where you put it in a word, pronounce an E sound. The vowel E, E, E. Okay, this next letter is Kaf. Kaf can either be K or Ch. I believe in ancient Hebrew it's probably the exact same thing, but we'll go over that in later videos. Oh, and also notice how at the top there is the regular Kaf, and at the bottom there's a letter called Kaf Sofit. Okay, which is basically what you use. Sof means means end. So sofit is the letter that you write at the end of a word. So if kaf were to be at the end of a word, you would write it how it is at the bottom and not how it is at the top. But if it was anywhere else in the word, you would write it how it is at the top. Lamed is a l sound, l, like L in English. Mem is a m sound, m, like M in English. And you can see that there is also a mem sofet at the bottom. Noon is a n sound, n, like N in English. And you see also here that there's a noon sofet here at below. And one distinction is that kaf and noon look very similar, and so does kaf sofet and noon sofet. So you differentiate between the upper and lower lines of kaf are longer than the upper lower lines of noon, and the top line of kaf sofet is longer than the noon sofet. This next letter is samech. Samech is an S sound, and sometimes compared to another letter which we'll go over. Ayin in modern Hebrew is pronounced similar to Aleph, but in ancient Hebrew it was probably pronounced more similar to the Arabic, which is ayin, sort of like you're going from the very deepness of your throat. Ayin. And it's pronounced differently throughout different places in the word. We're going to focus on the ancient pronunciations because we're trying to restore our pure language. Okay. I'll end this clip right here and continue.